everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 553. And today we'll be playing the Ranger in Backpack Battles. And so we're getting pretty close to Diamond. Hopefully we can push up into Diamond in this video. The last kind of rotational class video we're going to be doing in Backpack Battles. And so we'll see if that's what hits. You got a nice target, 9 LP, 9 BPBP to go. Backpack Battle Points, is that what they're called here? And so let's see what we can do. So interesting start. A lot of stuff on sale. I always like the bananas. The walrus tusks have been growing on me here as of late. The singular pocket sand is fine. And then looks like we're just going to purchase out everything here. And so we'll add in the broom, add in the pig. Let's see what we can do. This is going to be this is going to be an awkward stack in terms of trying to fit everything in. So we only got one hex left. All right, well, let's just at least put the walrus tusk in. All right, reasonable. And so, yeah, it's been pretty interesting with the Ranger as we've started to rank up in LP here. I feel like you either have a path down towards the crit comps, which I feel like have been nerfed here recently, but in its place, the kind of mana comps have really filled in. And we'll see if that's what kind of comes up today, if we end up building towards like the blueberries or what we can get going on. And so, yeah, I'm not really jazzed with this start. I don't like the hammer within Ranger. If we were playing any of the other classes, I would be happy to just snatch this up right away, but it doesn't really work here. We'll pick up the onion, and then this is a pretty horrible start. And so we'll skip past this shop. Maybe things will improve on the next one, and it does. This is a little bit better, and so we can pick up the shovel. Like that's certainly on the table here. The other question is going to be, do we want to pick up the lump of coal and then just turn the wooden sword into a torch? And that does a pretty reasonable way of carrying you through the early game. Just having the shovel is an econ / attacky kind of item. You don't get your mana really hurt with the torch up, and then the torch is a scaling type item, which works with a lot of food that we have in the early game. And so I'm kind of on board with it. We'll have to see if we get a little bit of usage out of this walrus tusk. If I'm building towards thorns, I like to have the pineapple and not so much the walrus tusks, but the tusks do let you build the important item in the gloves of thorns, whatever it's called. And so interesting stuff. I think, yeah, we need like the full 2 gold. I guess we are adding in an econ item, getting the shovel here, so I don't feel nearly as bad about upgrading to torch. And all right, so this round's going to be a bit of a cluster. I don't think it's that bad having the very high stamina usage in an early round, right? The typical problem with the very high stamina usage is you're missing out on a part of your economy, right? So if you get, let's say, like a dollar a hex, and just your hexes aren't doing anything because you're running out of stamina, then you've lost a lot of money. But at this point in the game, we haven't lost anything in terms of money, and so I don't think it feels horrible being up at very high stamina this round. And then as we converge, right, we get both the shovel and the torch. It's going to make it a little bit better. Interesting stuff. We have the opportunity for a second shovel, and I'm not opposed to starting off with a double shovel if we're going into a very heavy food build. The thing that I typically worry about, though, with this kind of start is if you're going towards the food build, you really want to have a pan to turn into Excalibur, and then you want to have a broom to turn into a wand. But if you convert the double shovel early and then don't find one of the follow-up equipments, they can be very tough to find in the mid-game. And so I'm still going to go for it here. I think this is okay. I'm going to sell the torch. We're not going to use that. But it does give you a little bit of concern as far as how our build is going to fall out here. Do we need to just blow that up? We can fit the pan in here. All right, it's not looking exactly how I wanted it, but I think this will be okay. All right, something like that. Sure, might be able to get this pan up against the food, but whatever. Oh, I didn't realize we had 4 gold though. Do we want to stop? We'll get the pocket sand that's on sale, but I don't think we want to roll here. All right, we might be able to take down the Berserker here. We don't have a ton of sustain, but if we're able to get a whole bunch of blinds on him, then it really slows them down going into the end of round area. He hasn't battle raged yet, which is the scary point. No. Got him up to 7 blind, though. A big hope and dream with that. All right, interesting. So another walrus tusk turns up, some armor stuff along with a box of riches. I'm not opposed to box of riches. They tend to work out in some of these builds, but as it stands right now, it just seems a little bit too expensive. We already have a bit of an economy start with the double shovel, and so I'm leaning towards just picking up the garlic. And then the question will be, do we want the leather armor, I think? And it's a little bit much. We could get double thorns with the walrus tusk, right? When it comes to thorns, I like to build towards the claws of attack. And so we're going to use the pineapples to generate thorns and the claws of attack to be our weapon for the round. But not quite certain we're there. It's like I'm kind of tempted that it's like if we're going to just go all in on thorns at this point, I kind of want the leather armor as well. How far away are we from this stuff? So if we're interested in selling these 3 behind, what's this, like 3 gold? That gets us up to 11. Those maths work. All right, let's do it. Maybe we are going to be going towards the old towards the old thorns this round. All right, that's a start. We need more foods to turn up. I would rather be like having the option between the two. It's just so deep picking up these walrus tusks this early. But thorns aren't bad in the early rounds when nobody deals any damage, and so if we end up selling them off, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so here I definitely want the blueberries. I'm not entirely sold on us using these walrus tusks, and if we do push to a food comp, these are a pretty big deal. So we'll snatch that up. I don't think we want the daggers. You can look to use daggers and build towards the spectral dagger and then have a big moon armor comp. Like I do like it a little bit, but I think that's a little too far away from where we currently stand. Oh, the thorn whip turns up. And so I don't like Thorn Whip in general. Like, you don't want this to be your Thorns item, right? You want your Thorns item to be Claws of Attack and then Bloodthorn, but you do need it for the Bloodthorn. And so I'm kind of interested in picking it up. We would need to sell off our shovels to do it, which feels a little early. But let's go. Let's go. Let's see, we're not going to use the... I'm trying to think if we can get up to the bag at this point. We're probably going to be a little bit short. That gets us to high usage with the shovel and the whip. All right, the shovels are going to go. We can pick up the bag now. We're getting there. We're getting something coming together. Take a quick look at this. Dude, we still got $4 left over. But with this now, it's like I am a little bit more interested in picking up if like the gemstone bag turns up. It can be useful. We're going to have a double slot in the leather. We got 2 slots in the thorn whip. I don't think the gloves have it, but maybe we only get 1 once we upgrade the thorn whip. But I do like having access to the gems. How we doing here? We're building up a lot of thorns with just a broom and a berserker hammer. I don't think this guy can ever beat thorns. He just doesn't deal enough damage. All right, getting him. So what do we got? Ooh, I'm definitely on board with this. I always enjoy picking up the potions. I think we're just gonna be. We have to keep food to a degree if we want to get the pineapples going, but I don't think it's going to be like a real core part of our comp. I do want the gloves, though. The gloves are going to turn into our attack weapon. I think we'll pass on the carrots. It's like with the carrots, there's... it's nice to be able to pick up the empowered, but we're not going to have the clovers to be able to do it. Alright, so there's the claws of attack. We can get that up and running. I want to get the banana going, or the upgrade to the potion as well. That looks good. More thorns. Alright, not a bad bag. Wouldn't be opposed to having a piggy bank at this point. Right, we've given up on all of our economy items. We started economy with the double shovel and then immediately sold it with nothing to replace it with, but I think this is okay. This dude's kind of lame. He's got the bow out here for the ranged attacks, but he's also got a dagger and a pan, so the thorns should still be doing some work. Got him. All right. Okay. What in this? God damn it! It's not huge at this point that our gloves didn't merge, but I was definitely intending on that happening. Otherwise, let's see. I want the box of riches. I want the mana orb. I think. We're not going to build towards moon armors, right? We're going to make vampiric stuff. So let's skip over that. All right, next one. Take the bag. Okay, so let's fix this a little bit. Get the claws of attack going. Feels like a fairly weak round. We need to get those the upgrade to the thorn whip and the upgrade to the leather armor, and then we'll feel much better about this. Another one. He's gonna get us. He's gonna come in and clear it at the end. Ugh. So it felt like we were doing pretty reasonably well, and then it fell apart. Maybe we did need our claws of attack for the round from that previous failure. But let's see. What do we intend to do here? It's like the things like poison ivy are where you're kind of stuck, right? This is the thorns boosting impactful kind of thing. Otherwise, the Grove Keeper probably just won't have enough space for. I'm not opposed to things like Lifebinder, right? The idea with Lifebinder and these kind of builds is you get the mana, but more specifically, you get the hearts, and then you can use the hearts to feed the Bloodthorn. And so it can be a little bit challenging for this kind of comp to come in and pick up the hearts, since the only other ways to get it tend to be some of these shitty holy items or off of the strong health potions giving you the regenerate. And so this is one of the things I do kind of like in these builds, since the poison isn't that impactful, right? We don't gain enough thorns to really help that pop off. And so if we do actually have the proper item turn up, then the leaf is going to be good. Okay, here's the supporting cast, right? The pineapple turned up. We got another blueberries. That's good as well. Lets us maybe look towards moon armors if it seems like this leather armor isn't going to come together. I like it. It's starting to happen. So let's see here. Get the leaf in the middle. We're not going to have a ton of items to surround this pineapple with, but we got a handful of them here. This might be the more preferable leaf spot. Why aren't the claws of attack a nature item? That's kind of dumb. It's got the big Wolverine claws, right? That should be a piece of it. Alright, that seems like the start to me. We can move the leather vest eventually, but at this point, picking up this chunk of this chunk of value feels good. Get these stones in here. All right, that seems like a reasonable spot. I don't think we want to roll. I'm not opposed to just taking the one walrus tusk out. We are going to mana out on this one, or stamina out, and so maybe it goes and we just get to put the potion in. Oh, hang on, we've got a gem down here. The on hit we want on the thorn whip at this point. I mean, do we ever realistically just stay on the thorn whip instead of upgrading it? I think probably not. Probably not. The Bloodthorn does gain the stats we want. Okay. Starting to come together just a little bit. Just a little bit. What's this guy doing? Still poking us with the brooms, getting that extra thorn damage in. I appreciate it. All right. Getting them W's with the Yggdrasil leaf. So, okay. I do like a second box of riches. If I want one, I want two. 3 tends to be a little much, and so we'll pass on it. The banana could be okay. We can just sell it if we don't want it, and now we have the gloves to make our second claws of attack. Happy enough to snatch those up. Would like to find some bags if we can. Good stuff here. We got the bag. We definitely want it. And then we've also got another heroic potion for the banana. This is looking good. And so let's get these rocks out of here. We're probably not going to use those anymore. Need to rotate around the claws. All right, we can get the second one in that way. Now, what else do we got? Really be nice to have one more bag. Do something like this. That looks reasonable. Get the banana in. We've got these 2 hexes in here, but we can't get our gemstone things in. That's a bit unfortunate. There's another one up top here as well. We don't really need the lucky clovers, but is what it is. This looks close enough to me. And so what do we want to keep? Like, I think we definitely want the blood amulet. I haven't been paying enough attention if we need the heroic potion, but we probably do. And the downside to this big keep, right? We keep the 9 and the 6 is 15. We could probably afford that next round, but next round we get 12. We can afford it after the cells, but we don't have a ton of space for it. I guess we're going to be cleaning up some space, though. We'll get the walrus tusk out of the board. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just curious if there's ever a point to where we just have to get rid of the thorn whip because it hasn't come together. I'm not certain what we would want to replace it with, though. Are at high stamina usage now. Alright, this kind of looks good though. Get the got the leaf on a whole two items at this point. There's got to be a better way to arrange these bags. Guess we're gonna have to find the space for the blood gem as well, though. Oh, god damn it. It's so easy to just destroy everything. Destroy all the hard work that you've made. Alright, this seems reasonable, though. What do we got? See if there's a quick rotate that'll work better on the leaf. 3 stack here. Okay. This is the kind of pain point with this, right? It's trying to find the find the angles just where everything will fit. We're at least like pretty rock solid on terms of our weapons and our armor, and so we should just be able to kind of fill in with food at this point and get better value out of the leaf. All right, and now the holy armor turns up. I don't think we can afford it. It's one of those things to where you do have a bit of mana generation, but I think we're just too far away from it working. So let's pick up the gems. I think we just kind of want to push on with the food. I'm not opposed to a Shield of Valor. It's like we need time for the Claws of Attack to scale up, but it just takes up so much space. I think we let it go. We're just really lacking on not seeing any of the, what's your name? Any of the Hungry Blades turning up. All right, one more bag, I guess. It's like we can fit all the stuff in our bags now, but we're still hurting as far as the food and stuff go. Let's see, there's a reasonable place for the gemstone boxes. All right, so the leaf's looking decent like that. We still gotta get a better wrap around this this pineapple, but I think that's probably about as close as that's gonna get. Put the life steal up in the armor, then the on-hit effects going into the claws. It's starting to come together a little bit. It just feels like we needed to be at this point like 2 rounds ago. So. Like, I still worry about the round where we do actually find the Hungry Blade and have to spend all that time upgrading. So, seems tough. Guy just hit Battle Rage. Oh, we got it at 2 HP. It was like, I just saw the Battle Rage hit and I was like, fuck, we're dead. And then the HP hit and I was like, well, maybe not. Maybe not. So, okay, what are we doing? I'm fine with the gem. I'm definitely fine with the blueberries. This other stuff seems a little bit too expensive. Like, I don't feel like we need a 3rd heroic potion. Like, it's probably not horrible, but we have other needs that are a little bit bigger than that, I think. Not opposed to the acorn collar. Those crits are always big. It's also a nature item for the leaf, if we can organize that in a reasonable fashion. Pass on the gem. Bag of speed turns up. All right. So we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. How do we feel about this blood amulet, though? I don't feel like we really need it. If it was on sale, I would definitely recover it, but it doesn't feel like it's going to really pay off. I'm kind of curious. I'd like to just move the leaf down, right? I know you're not going to be able to get like all 3 within. Is that right? Is that accurate? Can do something like this. Yeah, this will work out. Then we can push the crit item in so we hit the crit on all 3. Okay. Get a clover in here as well. That looks decent. That looks decent. That leaf's looking good. All right, coming together just a little bit. I don't think we want to take a roll, but I think it's definitely looking better than it was. Okay, into battle. What's this? You got to beat the Frost Mage, right? The Frost Mages just suck. That's an accurate statement, right? Got tons of armor. Our health is looking good. He's not really scaling. I think we're fine. Yippee. Got one. Okay. Let's see. I'm always good for these 1-mana gems. I don't think we need Walrus Tusks anymore. Right? The things that combine with them just don't... We don't really have the room or the space for anymore, right? And so the Spiked Shield we're not going to want. The bow we don't want. The Claws of Attack we have 2 of. That's enough. And then everything else doesn't really activate off of it. So I think the claws we're just kind of done with. Would still absolutely love to find a to find a the Hungry Blade, just the actual build around for our whole fucking thing. Do we want to go up more? I'm trying to think if these battles feel sustain worthy enough to want the Divine Potion. It does take quite a bit of time to ramp up these claws of attack. I think I just want to keep digging. I want to find that Hungry Blade. It's got to turn up at some point, right? Don't think we want the crystal, but we will upgrade the pineapple where we can. Right, let's take one more roll. Not that spectacular. Alright, so upgrade to ruby. And I want the on-hit stuff on the claws. I think I prefer the frostbite potential as opposed to the poisons, because as we ramp up this mana, potentially it does start to come in and help make the blueberries a little bit better. So I think that's fine. How does this leaf look? I completely forgot that we even had these onions. They're definitely out here doing the work when you just completely forget about them. All right, stone. So what's this guy doing? Very poison stacked comp, but it's debuff heavy with the Cursed Dagger. Interesting. Took him down. Okay, the be all end all, the big round. You got to see if we can't push through from here. And I'm glad it finally turned up, but this is gonna be painful. Trying to fight through this round with the Hungry Dagger just living in our bag. So we'll see. We're gonna try. Our gems are looking good. Got that sweet, very high stamina regeneration. I'm almost curious if we shouldn't just like. I like the topaz on the Thorn Whip, but I think we're going to want to pull that out just for that little bit of stamina regen. I don't know how much it's going to matter, but hopefully more than 0. We got in here another bag, sure. All right, something like that. I think that's as good as it's going to get. I was hoping that we would roll into another heroic potion. I know we skipped like 4 of them, but I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. I think we're good with the gems. Oh, we got a one cost blue in here. Okay. Whew, all right. Squeeze them cheeks, fellas. See how we do. It's a very dagger-heavy comp. The thorns always work nicely against the daggers if we can scale them up fast enough. They're so low DPS. We didn't get up there anywhere fast. We only got up to 3, and so. Whew, okay, well, we'll see if we can't make it to the survival round here. And so I think the banana's fine. We got plenty of space in our bags to get it in. It's not what you're really looking for at this stage of the game, but whatever we can do to help the pineapple, I think we're okay to go for. Otherwise, amethyst is a good deal. I think we probably want to pick up this blood amulet. I think, the kind of like realistic consideration with this is we do need to be kind of all in at this point in terms of what we're trying to finish off the round with. And I think that's just going to get us there, right? If we lose the round, we're just completely done. But if we win, we have a little bit more options in terms of what we can do. So I think I'm happy with that. Our leaf looks good. That's just essentially as good as it's going to get. One hex is on the gloves of attack, which we can't do anything with. 1 hex is on the pineapple. Everything else is covered. Then here, I like the rubies and the vampiric armor. That gives the bonus healing. Then let's put the attacky stuff into the bloodthorn. And so now that the Bloodthorn is finally turned up, I mean, you can see the kind of intent with what we're trying to pull off with this build, in the sense that um, we get the Bloodthorn to where you use the the hearts to gain the vampiric and the thorns, and then the source of hearts is going to be the Yggdrasil leaf. So typically to get the heart stuff, you have to just be out here using. Still searching for something? We were on thorns. The fuck? Can you clear this? Clear. There we go. There's everything. And so typically, if you're looking to pick up hearts, you either have to use the heart container, which doesn't really do anything in our comp, or you have to have something that just gives you every buff, like the God Rabbit, whatever it's called. And so it is nice with this Yggdrasil leaf to have the ways to generate the hearts that will then support the Bloodthorn, which is going to give us thorns and vampirism, which then ties into using the vampiric armor with the amplified healing in it. You can kind of see where the comp is going, even though it has not come together. It took us way too long to find that Hungry Blade, but that's the idea. Let's see how this goes. We're about to get nuked with poison early, but it seems like the build is weak after that. Oh, sick! We got big chunks of heal right at the very end to carry us through. So okay, let's battle on. I don't know if we can get that that 9. We need 9 MMR to get the upgrade to diamond. So I'm going to go into survival mode just to see if we can do it. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe this is going to get us on point. So let's pick up the berries. Good stuff there. I don't think we want the bird. It is a nature item, which we can stack in with the leaf, but maybe it's okay. Like if we put it out this way and then just have it stacking on all of our attacky items, I don't hate it. It's going to take a bit of bag work to get it lined up over here, though. We can move a lot of this stuff kind of freely. We just needed 1 hex. That seems good, right? It's on everything important. It's on the pineapple. It's on both of the gloves. It's on the sword. We can move the vampiric armor in 1. That's short. Can probably. What if we do this though? Oh, hang on. I was intending. I was intending on getting the vampiric armor underneath the tortilla so that it gets the bonus, and then that was just completely off. It needs to be up here above the gloves. So let's see if we can't get it rearranged to make that happen. Is that the spot? With the tortilla, it collects it in those last hexes. Okay. Now that looks good, right? It's pretty much everything. All right, that's decent. Now we can get these potions back in. It's our leaf hitting on everything. We got 1 hex up to the top right. Covered. All right. Now, how do we want to stack in on these items? Again, I like the rubies and the vampiric armor. That's going to give us the additional healing for our vampirism stuff. I like topaz and the bloodthorn. It has the on-hit effect that's going to give us the vampirism and thorns, and then the on-hits are okay on claws of attack. They do tend to start swinging faster and faster and faster, but is that where we would prefer? The on-hits on it, I guess they do stack the empowered. Should probably just be putting our highest quality items in these. I thought we were going to have is like a little bit more sockets. We need to slap in another armor or something to pick those up. But it is also getting kind of close to the point to where the the gems just upgrade themselves, and then you can't actually fill out the sockets. What we got here? Dragon comp with only 2 dragons. Got him. Alright, surviving 2. we're getting there. We're close, right? We're close. Do we want this other collar? I don't think these stack. I haven't been watching our crit chance, and so maybe it's worthwhile. I don't know. We're running out of stuff that we really care about at this point anyways. Now, I'm not opposed to something like Glowing Crown. It's not spectacular in the sense we don't have a lot of holy stuff, but the invulnerable for 2 seconds is a pretty big deal, and we don't currently have anything to spend mana on. And we have a lot of mana generation, right, with the leaf, the 5 blueberries, and then if we socket sapphires. And so I think it's probably a fairly reasonable add. Just put our highest quality gems in each of these items. Not super interested in the emerald. We don't deliver enough poison, so I think that the... Sure. I think that the on-hit effects from these other ones are probably a little bit more relevant. Ooh. 2 rounds. 2 rounds. He's got a ton of armor. Well, we ran out of stamina at the end. That's a no-go. We definitely need to be able to fight through, and so maybe that's what we end up looking for here at the end. I don't think adding in more armor is really going to do it. I don't want to buy any more gems. I think potions are. No, this is the final round. The potions are probably going to give us the most bang for our buck. We did find another tortilla. I think I'm on board with adding it as well. So let's see. We can sell some of this stuff. These little chipped gems aren't really doing anything at this point. Let me see. I guess the other reasonable thing here is there's no reason to keep these Box of Riches at this stage. They're definitely not doing anything. We're not playing any more rounds after this, and so that's fine. I don't know if we can activate Gen Lamps. I haven't been watching our stuff enough, but we have armor, we have luck, we could probably activate the Gen Lamp. We have the money for it. What do we need? We have 5, we need to come up with 6. We could look to just sell the green gems. Let me add these up real quick. How we actually want these gems to be. I think we want the topaz out so we get the stamina regeneration. So the ones I'm kind of reasonably happy to sell are just 2, 3, 4. Gets us up to 9. We need 2 more money after that. Probably just sell a blueberry. Okay. Or we can sell the... Oh, these only sell for 1? That's fine. Let's sell the leaf. We'll sell the 1 hex... The 1 hex... or the just the smallest gem. So I think that's fine. Still got this rock. I'm surprised that thing is still here. Let's see. I think that's going to be it. That looks a little better. Get the blueberries on both the banana and the pineapple. Get this helmet in here before we forget about it. And I think that's it, fam. So let's see. Squeeze them cheeks. See if we can't pull down this last round. Get that final bit of MMR. Take us into diamond. What's this? This is like a... It's got the stun on the axes, but he doesn't have the daggers to back it up. Maybe. Maybe. I saw the gem lamp pop once. Saw it pop twice. Still going to be a little short. You gotta It's like, yeah, you gotta you gotta fight through that. You gotta pick up enough lifesteal to make it through. Not quite there, but I'm not completely disappointed in the battle. I sure would have loved to have picked up a little bit more MMR, but the stuff that we were trying to get assembled here just didn't come together. Right, this is how the thorns comp should start to look. You're looking to have stacks of pineapples generating the thorns, and then that's going to scale into the gloves of attack, and then you're looking to use the thorn blade to be your other kind of main DPS item. And so we started to get here, right? We got the double claws of attack, that was good. We got the bloodthorn eventually, and then the bloodthorn is going to eat the the hearts that you get out of the Yggdrasil leaf, and then the Yggdrasil leaf is getting its activations off of all of the items supporting the pineapple. But the real pain point for that was the comp just like didn't come together fast enough, and we only saw one pineapple the entirety of the run. That is the kind of major build around component with this, and then we didn't find the bloodthorn until the last round before the survival rounds. And so this is one of these comps. I don't think it's spectacular. I don't want to advertise it as being, kind of the best one in the world, but it is a fairly reasonable comp with how a lot of your ranger builds are going to branch, right? So to me, the ranger really branches in two separate directions. You either go towards food or you go towards clovers. And with the clovers, you're going to have like the bows, and then you're going to be just like super high crit chance, and you're going to put the gen lamp on your bows, and the battle's going to start, and you generate the 20 clovers, and you get all of the buffs, and then the buffs get eaten by the lamp, and you just burst super fast. Like that's comp number one. It gets kind of builds out from early game like whetstones and hero swords. But to me, the other build really kind of branches out from the food, and you have a few different ways that that build can go. You can get like the food subclass item and just be all in on food, or it can kind of branch into having a bunch of blueberries, and that turns into a mana comp. And so you're building like moon armors and eating all of the mana. And then the last way would be this kind of thorns comp, as to where you were going towards food, and then you're like, oops, I got like 2 or 3 pineapples, and I've got the thorn whip, and then now how do I make something happen with this? Because the pineapples don't work spectacularly in the food comp itself because they're so big. And so this is a kind of nice way to take it. I feel like there was a big decision moment early. The kind of battle itself has slipped me here as to where we had the decision between pineapple, blueberries, and something else. I can't remember if that was this run or one that I just did in my practice time, but I feel like we had the opportunity to pick pineapple or something else. We went pineapple, pushed down this path, and this is where we landed. And so to me, it's kind of in that space of if you hit like 3 pineapples, you're probably off to the races and shooting well through the survival mode, or you have something like this to where it doesn't completely come together and you're lucky to make it to the survival round. But nonetheless, it has a lot of power. It's a good thing to know coming into this patch, since I feel like the things that were appearing in the last one just completely like dwarfed this in terms of power. This was not a real comp in the last patch, and it's something that you can do in this one. And so it's something reasonable to be adding into the wheelhouse. Nonetheless, good game. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, maybe learned a thing or two along the way, you had a good time watching. This is Busted Me. Thank you for being here.